One of the questions I'm asking is, um, what do you think happens when you die?
Or you go to heaven or you go to hell.
Yeah, so you
Yeah.
believe in both of those?
Yeah, it's both. It's pros and cons. You can't separate them.
Yeah.
No matter what you do.
How do you go to heaven?
You do good deeds and you do the right thing and you believe in Jesus. You have to have faith.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if you do all good deeds. It's how you handle situations. Because God watches you no matter what you do and when you do it and how you do it. It doesn't matter what kind of lifestyle you have. It doesn't matter what kind of money you have. It's all about what you do and how you do it amongst each other. It pays to be the kind of person you're supposed to be in life. You know what I'm saying? Because just because you got money, that doesn't mean you're above everybody. Just because you don't have money, that doesn't mean you're supposed to act like you being treated wrong. That's not the case here. The case is your life is according to how you respect yourself and carry yourself amongst the world and society today.
Yeah.
And nobody can predict your life or tell you how to run your life or put you in a situation that you can't get out of or get in. They shouldn't try to put you in a tight situation because when you came into this world, your mom and dad brought you into this world, you had to listen to them. You had to do what they told you to do. And when you became an adult, it was time for you to be the man or the woman you're supposed to be for yourself.
First question is, what do you guys think happens when you die?
Well, I'm like that. I think we did the opinion about this. But it's like the classic, like I think there's a certain finite amount of energy in the universe, and we're all kind of like borrowing that energy to live for a little bit. So when you die, that energy kind of goes back.
I think probably mostly it's just black.
I like the idea of reincarnation. I'm not sure if it can be proven, but I would like it if it's reincarnation. What do you think? Yeah.
What do I think? So, I believe there's an afterlife, and I believe that we actually maintain our personal identities in the afterlife. And so, if someone could tell you what happens when you die, would you want to know?
Probably not.
It would be kind of scary.
Yeah.
I feel like there's enough things to deal with in normal life already without the weight of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. So I'll share a little bit about what I believe and why I'm asking this. So I used to be a huge drug addict and alcoholic and was just living a very destructive lifestyle. I would even break into cars and steal things, was doing all these really bad things. And I wasn't always paralyzed either, but I was in a motorcycle accident and I had a near-death experience. I almost died, and the doctor actually told me you might not make it through this surgery. And so I went under with that thought, and at the time I was like, well, I guess if that's it, that's it. But I woke up and I realized, oh man, I've been given the second chance and everything, and there must be something to this. I don't want to just live the way I was living and everything before. And so I tried all these things to improve my life and everything, and nothing was really working, right? I was very depressed and angry and struggling with, what my purpose in life was now. And for some reason I had decided to start reading the Bible, and I just picked one up and started going through it on my own, and it was kind of like hard to understand some of it and stuff at first. But then I had this dream, and in the dream I was like reliving all the bad things I had done and the ways I had hurt people and stuff. And it was like I was on trial, being accused of all these things, and I was guilty. I knew I was guilty, and I was like trapped. I wasn't getting out of it. So it was very scary. It was like a nightmare. But then all of a sudden I appeared in this like peaceful garden area, and I saw a gravestone with this like Celtic cross on top and a bright light shining from behind it. And in the dream I just went up to it and I said, okay, God, I give up. I need the help of Jesus Christ. And the very instant I said his name, that guilt just vanished. Like, I still had the memory of everything I had done, but it was like I wasn't accountable for it anymore. It was like gone. And I woke up and I'm like, what was that? That wasn't a normal dream. There was like this power behind it. And so it was 4 a.m. I couldn't really sleep and everything, and for some reason I just decided to go to the Bible and start reading right where I'd left off. Well, the very first thing I read was this passage that goes, for God speaks in one way and in two, though man does not perceive it. In a dream, in a vision of the night, when deep sleep falls on men, will they slumber on their beds? Then he opens the ears of men and terrifies them with warnings, so that he can conceal pride from a man and keep back his soul from the pit and his life from perishing by the sword. And I was like, that's what just happened. Like, this passage described my dream exactly. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. And like, so I'm going through my day thinking about that, and I happened to find out it was the 1-year anniversary of my grandpa's death, and talked to my mom about it and realized the exact time I woke up from my dream was the exact time he passed away. It's like to the minute. So I'm like, all these weird things are kind of happening. And then that day I ended up going to his gravesite, and I'd never been there before, but the exact Celtic cross from my dream was on his gravestone. It was just like, okay, wow, this is real. And like, I started really like diving into it, and it changed my life completely. Like, my drug addictions, all of that, I've been sober ever since. Like, I've stopped like doing all the bad things I was doing, and I actually have been trying to like help people and looking out for others than just myself. And so it was a very powerful thing. And so from that, because of that experience, like, I believed what I was reading in the Bible, and I learned that it talks about eternal life and the afterlife and what happens afterwards. And it says at one point, you know, we get this one shot in life, and after that we have to come face to face with God and, you know, be accountable for our lives, and whether we lived them the right way or the wrong way, and if we believed and had faith or not. And so, yeah, it's important to figure out these questions now, you know, while we have this chance, because life can end just like that. I learned that through that near-death experience I had. You know, I was going about my life thinking, oh, I have, you know, 20, 30, 40 more years, and hopefully I want to stay alive, but it's also just important to think about this stuff. So I just wanted to share that with people and share that with y'all today. And
That's a really powerful story, yeah.
So will you guys think about that and just consider it as you go about your days now?
Mindfulness.
Yeah.
Going through your life with purpose.
Yeah.
Definitely. Cool.
All right. Thanks for talking and everything.
Do you have a YouTube channel? Is that where this is going?
Yeah,
What's it called?
it's called Moving a Mountain. Yep.
Cool. All right. Thank you.
Yep. Bye. Yeah, the big question I'm asking people today is, what do you think happens when you die?
I don't know,
Mm-hmm.
and I hope that in some way I find out.
So if someone had something to tell you about it, you would want to know.
Yeah, I've read about people who think that that's happened to them,
Mm-hmm.
and I would like to meet up with people, like my parents and people like that, but I don't have an idea that that's going to happen. I don't have that kind of faith.
Yeah. That's so when I broke my back, I almost died. The doctor told me I might not make it through the surgery, and so I was actually very close to death. And I mean, it happened so quickly. It was suddenly, 1 minute I'm walking around and doing things, and then I crashed a motorcycle, and then someone else was right behind me and hit me, and so I was.
You got a really double whammy.
Yeah, I got my back broke instantly, and yeah, I almost died, and so.
Where is it? In here?
Yeah, right about this level here.
So you can move above that, but not below.
Yep. So that's what happened there, and before that, I was a huge drug addict and an alcoholic and living a very reckless life, and through this injury and questioning my life again,
What's it
I
all
realized
about?
I need to figure this out. And what happened is I ended up reading the Bible, and I had a dream, and God actually appeared to me in a dream and told me things that hadn't happened yet, and then they happened shortly after.
Amazing.
And so because of that experience, I believed what I read there, and then I started learning that the Bible actually has answers for what happens when we die. It says, there's an eternal life afterwards where we get to keep our personalities, and our bodies will have new bodies that are young and strong again and all of that. And
Wow.
so, in the way that we get to enter into that life is through believing in Jesus. He was the first one that this happened to. He was killed, but then he rose from the dead, and his followers believed it so much that they were willing to be killed just to tell people about it. And so that's what happened to me. And so I think it's really important that we figure these things out now, so that we know what happens. We can have, when you know what happens when you die, you don't have to be afraid of anything in this life, because you know that you'll be taken care of and everything, and it brings a lot of joy and peace to your life. And so that's why I like telling people about that and asking, getting other perspectives as well, seeing what people think. And
Are people generally willing to chat with you?
I think, most people are willing to talk. People have different views and different
Correct.
beliefs and
Correct.
all of that, but I think it's an important thing, because we get this life, and then then if there is an eternal life afterwards, we have to get that figured out, because it also says that there's a hell for people who don't do the right things and are wicked in this life and hurt people and all of that. And so I don't want that to happen to anyone, myself or anyone else, and so that's why I think it's very important to talk to people about this stuff and learn
great.
more.
What's your name?
William,
William.
what's yours?
Abby.
Abby, nice to meet
And
you.
that's Ken over there.
Okay.
And me being a therapist, I'm much more willing to talk to people than he.
Like a psychological therapist. I was a psych major in college, so
Okay.
I've thought about going that
Yeah.
route too.
And you still could,
Hmm.
because nothing about you prevents you from listening to people.
Yeah. And I have experience too. I mean, I was an addict for
That's
almost
what you said.
13 years, and
It's a long time.
I started drinking when I was 12 years old, and I just lived a very destructive life, and I was also very depressed and anxious and dealt with a lot of mental health stuff. And so, but what healed me was this encounter I had with Jesus. It literally, I went from being this depressed, sad, angry person to being like joyful and hopeful about life again. And so that's
great.
yeah,
I'm
it's
glad.
just a really
And not
amazing-
poor me. Here I am in this vehicle.
I was like that for a little while, but then things changed around.
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Well, it's nice to meet you, William.
Nice to meet you
and
too.
Good luck with your journey
Thank you.
and your ministry, I think it is.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah, that's that's what I'm trying.
Great.
Good.
Great.
Thank you,
Good luck.
Ken and Abby.
Bye.
Bye. The question I'm asking is, what do you think happens when you die?
Oh.
Can I go first?
No, you go.
Me? Well, I'm Christian. I'm a Catholic, so I believe that when you die, you go to heaven. Well, not everybody probably goes to heaven. But, what we've been taught is that when you die, you go to the gates of heaven, and then it gets decided from there. So that's why it's so important to live your life well and humbly.
Yep. I'm the same. I was raised Christian, and I believe that hopefully we go to heaven someday. Yeah.
So you believe in an afterlife? Do you believe in like a hell too? Is there a heaven and a hell?
Yeah.
I do believe in hell, yeah.
Yeah. Cool. And how do you get to heaven?
That's an interesting question. But when we die, we've been just taught that your soul is what leads the body. The body stays here, and then the soul gets taken up to heaven. I know that sometimes people say that it's like an angel comes down and takes your soul to heaven or whatever, but I think just the process is just like your soul goes to heaven.
Yeah. Are you asking like how we get to heaven or like how we earn our way to heaven?
Well, yeah, how not just like the metaphysics of it, but
Physics,
like
yeah.
like
Oh, okay.
what do you
I mean,
That's a better question.
I was taught that the only way you get to heaven is through Jesus. That no one can like earn their way there, but through his like dying on the cross for us and having a relationship with him through our lives, that's how we get to heaven.
And also by spreading his word and being a good person, and not just spreading his word through your words but through your actions as well, and being a good role model for people, and being someone that people just have to see you down the street, but if they see you doing good things or being a good person, they can think, wow, that's just being a visual example of Jesus and how he lived his life.
Yeah, so it's like it's like your belief and faith in him, but also how you live your life
Yes.
along with that.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, so I'm a Christian as well, and I had a near-death experience. I broke my back and almost died, and so that's why I'm in a wheelchair now. And so I confronted this question very intensely, and at the time I was an atheist, and I was a drug addict and an alcoholic, and living a very destructive life. And then about a year after my accident, through trying to figure out what was wrong, because I was very depressed and angry, I ended up reading the Bible, and then had a dream where Jesus appeared to me and told me things that hadn't happened yet, and then they happened shortly after, and
Wow.
just a really crazy experience. And he transformed my life completely. All those addictions are gone, and like you said, it the way I live my life now is different than it was before. Something changed in me a lot through that. And so I'm trying to help people see that when you have this kind of faith, when you put your faith and trust in Jesus, he can transform your life and gives you joy and peace in this life, but then also prepares you for the one after, because it's something, life can end just like that, and we got to be ready for it, So I appreciate you guys chatting with me for a little
Of
bit.
course.
I appreciate
no
you
problem.
going around and spreading that.
Yeah,
It's
good for
really,
you.
really awesome.
Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, my channel is called Moving a Mountain, so you can search it on YouTube.
Absolutely.
And yeah.
Cool. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet y'all.
Nice to meet you. Have a good day.
You too.